Happy welcome children. This is Lavanya. Today let us discuss about food production where agriculture plays a key role for the production of food materials for the growing population. As we know that all the living organisms need food materials for their survival, like animals, human beings, different types of microorganisms, aquatic organisms, different types of organisms living on the earth need food materials for their survival. For the production of more yield in the agriculture field, we need to follow better agriculture methods where a single source will not depend upon the production of food materials. There are different types of sources where the food production is affected. Different types of sources like seeds. For example, let us discuss some of the factors affecting the production of food in agriculture process. Seeds, for example, only the healthy seeds can produce more yield, whereas the dead seeds, unhealthy seeds cannot produce more yield or they cannot germinate properly. The next one is the soil health. Soil health is nothing but fertile soil. If there is a proper fertile soil or a healthy soil, then the productivity will be more. Next one is irrigation process. Irrigation techniques. There are different types of irrigation techniques which are essential for different types of crops. All the crops cannot produce with the same type of irrigation techniques. There are different types of irrigation and different types of supplying of water for production of more yield. The next one is usage or applying of fertilizers or manure. Applying of fertilizers at a particular time, at the time of growing of a crop, is very much essential. Okay, fertilizers cannot be used at whatever the time we want. So it should be applied at a particular time to produce more yield. Next one is a manure, which is a natural method of applying the which is a natural method for increasing the fertility of the soil and as well as for the production of food materials. Manure, which is a natural one produced by plants and animal excreta. Next one is weather. Atmospheric conditions also depends upon production of food materials. Production of food materials also depends upon the weather conditions or atmospheric conditions where the temperature plays a key role for the production of food materials. The next one is controlling the insects and pests. Controlling the disease causing organisms like different types of insects and different types of microscopic pests is also very much essential for controlling these insects and pests effect for production of more food materials in agricultural fields. If there is increase in the insects and pests which causes diseases, then automatically diseased seeds will be produced. Okay, where it will be affecting even the health of the human beings and even the health of the animals, different types of animals which consume this insect and pest affected food materials. These are the different types of sources which affects the productivity of food materials in agricultural field. Along with all these, there are some more factors which affects the production of food in agriculture, that is increasing the area for cultivation. Of course, as there is a lot of growing population, as growing population is occupying the places for constructing the buildings, factories, malls, etc., we cannot increase the cultivable land. So what we have to do for that? We have to produce more productivity, okay, in the existing land itself. Existing land itself should be utilized properly for increasing the productivity. How to utilize this existing land? Okay, we have to develop high yielding varieties. High yielding varieties like hybrid varieties should be developed. Hybrid varieties like wheat, paddy, rice, cotton, potato can be developed by hybrid varieties where the plants produces the yield or the plants produces the productivity within a short period of time. So where the existing land itself can be utilized for hybrid varieties. The next one is alternating the crops. So the existing land itself should be fertile. The existing land itself should produce more yield. The existing land itself should be utilized more and more by the farmers for agricultural process. In that process, even the alternating of crops or crop rotation is also one of the method which increases the fertility of the soil or health of the soil can be improved. Alternating of crops or crop rotation. Already we have discussed in our lower classes also about this crop rotation or alternating of crops. It doesn't mean that growing of different types of crops in different seasons. Okay, instead of growing the same type of crop throughout the year is not helpful for increasing the productivity. It is not even useful for increasing the fertility of the soil. Soil health will be affected here if we do not follow this alternate cropping or crop rotation methods. So in this crop rotation methods, different types of crops like paddy. Okay, after growing paddy, we can grow groundnut as an alternate crop. Okay, after the paddy is yielded or after the productivity of a paddy crop, we can grow groundnut. Why? Because this paddy utilizes more nutrients and it absorbs more nutrients from the soil. Whereas this groundnut, which is a leguminous crop, it not only absorbs the nutrients from the soil, it also add back the nutrients to the soil. So it helps in a alternate cropping. Alternate cropping also helps in a increasing the fertility or increasing the health of the soil. Next one is tobacco. After growing tobacco, we can grow this mirchi crop. So which is a alternative crop for a tobacco. So like this, different types of crops should be grown in different types of seasons. Such type of growing of different crops in different seasons can also be called as crop rotation or alternating cropping. And another source is mixed cropping methods. Alternating crop also increases the fertility of the soil, and even mixed cropping also increases the fertility of the soil. And in a limited land area, we can have different varieties of crops at a time. At a time, we can produce 2-3 varieties of crops within a short period of time, within a short land area, within an existing land area. Such method is called as a mixed cropping, where 2 different types of crops can be grown at a time. Okay, like corn can be grown along with the black gram, soya pea. Okay, soya can be grown along with the pea plants. Okay, soya plants can be grown along with the pea plants. And the next groundnut can be grown along with the sunflower. So like this, corn along with the black gram. Corn and black gram can be produced at a time. Okay, such type of crops where the 2 different types of crops which are grown at a time in the single field is called as a mixed cropping methods. Okay, this is also more beneficial for the farmer and even it is also helpful for increasing the fertility of the soil. The next one is short-term crops like rabi crops. Okay, the crops which produces the yield within a short period of time. Such type of crops can also be called as a short-term crops. Okay, where the productivity is increased, income is increased, where the expenditure will be very less. So these all are the different various types of factors which affects the productivity, which affects the yield, increasing in the yield in agricultural fields. So here let us discuss one by one how they are increasing the productivity, how to manage all these resources in a proper manner to increase the productivity in a proper time. So here let us discuss the major source for food production, that is irrigation. Soil health we have discussed. Okay, the next types of seed we have discussed. Healthy seeds can produce more yield, whereas the dead seeds cannot germinate and they cannot produce more yield. Next one is irrigation. Supplying of water is very much essential for producing more yield. If there is a less supply of water, for example, if you take paddy need a lot of water continuously throughout the crop production. And the other crops like cotton, such type of dry crops need very less amount of water, whereas for some type of leafy vegetables like they need a very less amount of water, where the supplying of water need to be continuous. So here even in the dry land areas, okay, even though some of the farmers, so even though there is no supply of a sufficient amount of water, they will be preferring to produce only paddy by putting the bore wells by putting more expenditure upon the electricity, okay, by putting more expenditure upon the bore wells, okay, where they will be getting a very great loss, and there will be a loss of economy for them. So to avoid such type of problems, we can go for different types of irrigation techniques, where the government is encouraging them to follow different types of irrigation techniques like drip irrigation, sprinklers, and furrow irrigation techniques. So these furrow irrigation techniques you will be learning in the higher classes. So here drip irrigation. Drip irrigation means where the crop, where the complete field will be supplied with a large number of pipelines, where the water supply will be continuous throughout the 24 hours, drop by drop. So where the complete land will be in a wet condition, okay, and a very less amount of water with a continuous supply of water can be observed, where the productivity will be more and absorption of water will be more. And next one is the sprinklers irrigation, where the water will be supplied in the form of fountains. We can see different type in different parts. We can see these fountains. Just like that type of sprinklers can be placed even in the agricultural fields, so that the water will be supplied equally throughout the land area, where the complete land area will be kept wet and supplying of water will be continuous throughout the productivity. So where increase in production is observed due to this drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation techniques. And these irrigation techniques cannot be utilized for all different types of crops. Different types of crops, they need different types of availability of water. This irrigation technique is also very important. The supplying of water is also very important to increase the productivity in the agricultural field. And as we know that the complete water, the water which is supplied to the crops, the water which is supplied to the plants will not be absorbed by the plants completely. For example, we are supplying only 1 liter of water to a plant. Okay, out of that only 0.1% of water will be absorbed by the plants. Okay, the remaining excess amount of water will be evaporated in the form of a transpiration. So here, for example, if we supply 1 liter of water to a plant, out of this 1 liter of water, the plant absorbs only 1 milliliters of water to produce carbohydrates or any other type of nutrients. Only 1 ml of water, that is 1 milliliter of water will be absorbed by the plants out of 1 liter. The remaining 999 milliliters of water will be evaporated in the form of transpiration or in the form of a water vapor. For that we have did an activity. Okay, we have to take a potted plant, and in that potted plant, a branch of a potted plant should be covered with a polythene cover. A branch of this potted plant should be covered with the polythene cover, and the mouth of that polythene cover should be tied properly, tied very tightly, and then next it should be exposed to the sunlight, and it should be kept in an undisturbed position for about few hours. After few hours, we will observe that the inner side of the polythene cover, okay, will be containing some amount of water droplets. So from where do we get these water droplets means the excess amount of water which is absorbed by the plants will be evaporated in the form of water vapor. That evaporated water will be accumulated in the polythene cover, in the inner portion of that polythene cover. So in that way, this evaporation of water by the plants, okay, especially is observed in a tall trees like redwood, rosewood, sal trees, etc., which measures about 100 to 300 feet height, eucalyptus, etc. This type of tall trees, they cannot absorb the water from the roots by root pressure process. Root pressure is not sufficient for them to transport the water to such a tall trees and plants. So for that purpose, what they will be doing, the lower branches of the plants will be absorbing the water, and that lower branches of the plants will be evaporating that excess amounts of water, where the topmost branches of the plants will be absorbing that evaporated water with the help of natural openings or tiny openings which are present upon the leaves and stems of the plants, which are called as a stomata. These stomata, they are present on the leaves, and lenticels are the other structures. Lenticels are the natural openings which are present upon the stem, young stems of the plants. So these lenticels and the stomata, they are not only helpful for exchanging of gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen, these are also helpful to evaporate excess amounts of water by a process called as a transpiration process. So these stomata contains different parts. It is covered with a cell wall, contains a vacuole and a nucleus, and it contains a guard cells which are helpful for opening and closing of stomata. When the stomata is opened, the exchange of gases takes place. Okay, the exchange of gases takes place. When the stomata is closed, the exchange of gases will be stopped. So especially depending upon the atmospheric conditions, we have discussed before itself, weather also plays an important role in the productivity or in the growth of the plant. Weather means atmospheric conditions. So if it is very hot in summer season, as the evaporation will be more, the stomata gets closed. This is a closed stomata and this is an opened stomata. The stomata gets closed especially during the summer season as the evaporation of water will be more. So automatically during the rainy season, as the water availability will be more, the excess amount of water need to be sent out of its body. So automatically the stomata gets opened. And even depending upon the atmospheric conditions, temperate conditions, evaporation of water is different or transpiration of water is different. So during this evaporation and transpiration, it not only helpful for supplying of water to the tall trees like a sal, redwood, eucalyptus, etc. Even this evaporated water, which is evaporated in the form of water vapor, is also helpful for the formation of clouds. It is also helpful for the formation of clouds, which helps in the rainfall, which helps in increasing in the rainfall. That's why we can see where there is a large number of forest area or where there is a large number of plants, there the rainfall will be more. Why the rainfall is more? Why? Because wherever the plants are more, the transpiration of water will be more. Automatically, the formation of clouds will be more and incoming of rainwater also increases. Like this, water is also interrelated with the crop production. So, this irrigation technique is also helpful. Supplying of water in a proper time is also helpful for increasing the more productivity. Not only for increasing more productivity and even increase in the plant production or increasing in the agriculture or increasing in the growth of the plants also increases the rainfall as evaporated water forms in the form of clouds which is evaporated through the stomata. So stomata also plays an important role not only in the exchanging of gases, also it is helpful for evaporation of water and even for the rainfall.